Today on the show, as Charlie Kirk's alleged killer is charged with murder,
Tyler James Robinson.
which could see him face the death penalty, we're going to explore Tyler Robinson's links to a bizarre internet subculture and what his case reveals about a growing wave of meme-driven violence across America. I'll be speaking with my colleague Josh Boswell, who this weekend exclusively revealed Tyler Robinson's links to the largest furry-themed website on the internet, Fur Affinity.
I am filing a criminal information charging Tyler James Robinson, age 22, with the following crimes.
We've just heard a press conference with the Utah County District Attorney, and he had a lot of information to give out. I actually did not expect so many details to come out. Josh, tell us a little bit about what we learned, including that authorities are going to ask for the death penalty for this 22-year-old guy.
That's right, yeah. So, I mean, it was really quite a lot of shocking information that came out of that. There are more charges than the ones that we originally knew about. There's witness tampering involved. You know, you've got felony gun crimes, but also, of course, the murder of Charlie Kirk. One of the most striking things that came out of this, to me, was the transcript that he read out of the text messages between the alleged shooter, Tyler Robinson, and his roommate.
Remember how I was engraving bullets? The affin messages are mostly a big meme.
One of the stories that I and my colleagues did over the weekend was identifying that roommate as Lance Twiggs, another 22-year-old from Utah. And in those text messages, you hear Tyler allegedly telling Lance what he's just done, that he has done the shooting, that he's hidden the gun. This kind of thing is extremely incriminating, I think. And for me, I'm looking at this thinking, that's got to end up in Tyler changing his plea.
Right. So let's go back because you did a lot of this reporting. We did know before today that this roommate, who we understand is romantically involved with the suspect, right? And it is a trans woman, correct?
That's correct, yeah. So we don't know the final status of Lance, the roommate's gender at this time. What we know is that Lance had begun a gender transitioning process. We don't know if he followed through on it finally, but that happened. And yes, they were roommates, and then also they started dating and they were romantically involved, and then Lance started transitioning. That was a story that we reported on over the weekend, and of course you have the Attorney General here, the District Attorney rather, confirming that.
Let's talk about those messages that were exchanged, because it did sound like this alleged killer immediately after the fact wanted to confess to the roommate. We heard more about this note where he said, according to authorities, I have something like, I have the chance to take out Charlie Kirk. I'm going to take it. Tell us about that, because the FBI director had previously mentioned the note, but without many details. Now we know that it was the alleged assassin that told the roommate, look under my keyboard.
It's such a vivid picture that you get out of this, and it is documented in all of these messages according to law enforcement. You know, you've got Tyler reaching out to Lance, the roommate, saying, look under my keyboard, here's this note. There's a physical handwritten note that he opens up, and he's talking about going for the killing of Charlie Kirk. And then that prompts the roommate to get in touch with him on direct messages on Discord, which is like a online chat that gamers often use. And then that's how this conversation unraveled there. Now, you had Lance the roommate getting contacted by law enforcement, asking him about this, and then Lance told them everything, showed them, according to an affidavit that we've seen from police filed about this, Lance showed them all of those messages, and that's how we've ended up in this position. What was said in that press conference just now was that Tyler Robinson directed his roommate to delete the text messages, and he directed him to stay silent if police questioned him. And those two are counting for the prosecutors as witness tampering charges. And you can see that in the text messages. You know, he says, delete these messages. The other thing is obstruction, right? He is talking about trying to hide the evidence. So in the text messages, he talks about stashing the gun kind of in this wooded area where police later found it. He thought that he was going to be able to recover it, according to this text message exchange. He was just waiting for the cops to leave. There was one cop car still there, he says to Lance in those text messages, and he was about to go and get it, but then he couldn't get hold of it. And the gun really was, you can see why he was worried. It was quite a unique item, and it was very identifiable. The gun, we found out also in this press conference, was a gift from Tyler's father. It was his grandfather's gun, and then the father gave it to Tyler. When the father looked at photographs of that the FBI had released of the suspect, he thought that it was him. Also his mother, Tyler's mother, thought that too. They thought, that looks like our son. And then the dad questioned him. He called him and said, where were you? Where is the gun? Can you send me a photo of the gun? And of course, Tyler was unable to. And I think that's the thing that really tipped the dad off.
A term that I continue hearing, including in your reporting, from people who knew Tyler Robinson as a kid. They keep saying he was a Reddit kid. Explain to us what that means when someone is described as a Reddit person, and what spending so much time on Reddit means for young people like him.
So the ways that I would sum that up is a Reddit kid is someone who's chronically online. They have a lot of their friends are online. It's someone who is steeped in internet culture. There are layers and layers of irony and memes often. It's, when they post something, they're referring to several different memes that layer on top of each other that go back years. And it's often quite hard to decode what they're even talking about. It kind of creates this in-group that's very close-knit among people. And it's not just any Reddit user. It breaks down into very small subcultures. You've got people on particular message boards or boards within message boards. One of the things that he seems to have been a part of is the quote-unquote furry community, which is probably one of the most controversial ones. Furries are people who enjoy dressing up in fursuits. They have these alternative personas they call fursonas that are often a sort of anthropomorphic character that is sort of part animal, part human. And some of the most disturbing stuff that I found when I was looking through some of Tyler's online accounts that I traced through getting his username from friends and then tracing that through various internet sites was he was on a furry appreciation site that had all of this essentially pornographic material. It's part animal, part humans in various states of undress doing sexualized things. And then even he had a gaming account where there was evidence that he played this game that was a kind of furry, homoerotic porn game. So there's very niche areas that he seemed to be getting into online.
And it's so hard to understand because, as you said, are they even trying to promote any political message, or is it just for trolling? Like, do these people even have traditional, conventional political ideology, or is it just memes and vibes? Like, it's hard to understand because it seems in these spaces both the far right and the far left commingle.
What it boils down to is, from this press conference, from speaking to his friends, what it boils down to is, I think, he was dating a trans person. He was very angry at Charlie Kirk espousing anti-trans views and what he called hate, and that's what motivated him to commit this murder. That is the argument, it seems, from prosecutors right now, and that's what the evidence is tending towards right now. Now, there's still, because it gets so difficult to discern online, and because there is so many layers of irony when people like Tyler or his roommate post online, it does become hard to decode, and there is still room for argument there. But I think the picture that is emerging is he was on the left. He was trying to protect, the people that he associated himself with latterly in life, which was the trans community.